So last time I talked to you about how to create a threshold image, which we did with this object, and then also how to shift the hue of the image so that it became a different color. I want to show you some other techniques. So something else that we can do, I'm going to hide this and I'm going to go back to my original shoe layer. Remember that I never changed the shoe original, it's locked, and that's purposeful, intentional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duplicate of this layer. I've showed you a couple times how to do it this way by going to this menu. You can also go up to the layer menu at the top and click duplicate layer. And this one is going to be shoe multicolor is what I'm going to call this one. So the first thing that I need to do is unlock the shoe multicolor because it says I duplicated it, it's the same. The next thing I need to do is I want to think about adding color to only certain parts of this shoe. So I could, for instance, apply a certain color only to the white parts of the shoe. So at this moment in time, I'm going to use my magic wand to try to select the white parts of the shoe. So I clicked on that, I'm going to hold shift down, and that will let me add. Notice the little plus icon that appears on the magic wand. And I'm clicking the plus key, and I'm going to just kind of add on to my selection here. So now I have the shoelaces and the sole all selected separately. I'm also going to get the logo graphic. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a copy and a paste. So I'm going to say Command C and then Command V. If you look over here, over to the right on my layers, it won't look like anything has changed, but if I hide the other layers, you'll notice that now this shoe layer actually has something on it, just the white parts of it, which is what I wanted. I'm going to do the same thing with the blue part of the shoe. So I'm going to try my magic wand. Magic wand selects objects by color. So when you try to do it on something that has a bit of a multicolor component to it or a shading on it, it doesn't work super well. There's other ways to do this. Command D to deselect. I'm going to try my quick selection and see how that does for me. It's working pretty well here. So I used a combination of tools to finally get my blue part of my shoe selected. Now I'm going to do another copy and paste, Command C, Command V, and if I hide my bottom layer here, you'll see that now I have just the blue part of the shoe selected. This is what's really cool about layers, because now I can control the different parts that I've copied and pasted onto separate layers differently. So for instance, for my shoe layer, I could then go up and I could do that enhance again where we did the color adjustment. We did the the hue saturation, adjust color, adjust hue saturation, and I could adjust the color of the shoe, which probably doesn't look that different from what we were doing before, but I'll show you how it's going to change now. So the other thing is now I'm going to go to my laces layer. Now you might try doing like an adjust here. You might try doing an adjust hue saturation. The problem with the white part of the shoe is there is no color to adjust. So it really doesn't work very well or at all. So I'm going to hit cancel on that. Instead, I'm going to use the technique that we used for our last project. So what I'm going to do is just simply hide all the other layers so I can just see the white. Then I'm going to use my magic wand and click on here. Notice that I have the background selected. So I'm going to go up to select and I'm going to get the inverse. That's going to give me the shoe laces and all that. So what I'm going to do now is actually go up to layer and make a new layer. This is going to be my shoelace color layer. And now I'm going to pick a color for my shoelaces. I have like this bright blue, so maybe I'll do like a cool orange for my shoelaces. You can go up to edit and you can do fill selection. And I'm going to use my foreground color that I just picked. And remember that right now it's actually covering up the layer below it. And we can change the blending mode here to allow it to blend with the one below it. You can also change, oh that's kind of cool. So now if I turn on my colored shoe part, you'll see that I have pieces of this that are orange and pieces of this that are blue, and this is starting to look very pop art-esque. And I could even layer on top my black, and now I have a completely different effect there. So that's another way you can sort of explore color in Photoshop.